You just shake that. Simple fast. And be first girl to make me throw this cash. We get mine, don't be mad, I'll stop. Hating is bad. One more shot for us. Please fill up a cup. That's all right. We just want to see. You know, are you home with me? Get me down now. Where's your put your hands up, please. Where's your put your hands up, please. Where's your put your hands up, please. Yes. Put your hands up, please. Oh, oh, yeah, just sort of 10 minutes ago. Look, see there? It's my car in my home. I'm leaving for a destination I still don't know. Somewhere nobody must have beauty at all. And if you like this, you can follow me. So let's go. Follow me. And let's go to a place where we belong and keep our church down. With me. We can go to a place that has much joy and destination unknown. Are you waiting on a lightning strike? Are you waiting for the perfect fate? Are you waiting till the time is right? What are you waiting for? Don't you want here to deal with fear? Don't you want to take the wheel and steer? Don't you want another minute here? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You reach for the time. Dreams. What are you waiting for the right excuse? Are you waiting for a sign that choose? Why are you waiting if the time is yours? What are you waiting for? To prospect your ways and faith. Don't you really want to enter in faith? To hurry up before you to live. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? You ought to go and reach for the time. Yeah, dreaming girl. You really know what, what it means. What you ain't what you're even for. What you gonna stand for? What you really for? Tell me what you really for. What you gonna stand for? Everybody's going mistakes, but everybody's got a choice to make. Everybody needs a leap of faith. When are you taking yours? What are you waiting for?
I'm not doing it. It's Stephan's one. So I get to watch and learn. Having said that, I'm also recording it. Marie, leave that water in, will you?
Everybody, and a very warm welcome to this evening's Stephan Longworth's Inner Circle Knowledge Call. Great to see over 250 of you on the call this evening, and I just want to pay you all a massive compliment. Well done for turning off the television for an hour this evening to come on here and to get some great information to drive your business forward. Just before we get started, my name's Dan Holmes. I'm what's called a senior group leader in UW, and it is my honour and privilege to be co-hosting this evening's call with a very special gentleman. Now, just before we get started, if I could just ask everybody to leave themselves on mute, unless you're invited to speak, that would be great, just to prevent any background noise. And it's fantastic to see so many of your smiley faces and so many of your cameras on. And if you've got your camera switched off at the moment, but you are able to turn it on, then please do so, just out of respect and courtesy to our amazing guest speaker this evening. Now, I just want to start off by saying I have never been so excited about this business. And I played that song at the beginning there, What Are You Waiting For? Because I believe that sums up perfectly where we are with UW right now, because it's becoming abundantly clear that there's never been a better time to be a UW partner and to be involved with this amazing company. There's been some changes that have taken place over the last few days, which we will cover, but it's becoming apparent that the train is leaving the station with this opportunity. So it's time for all of us to get on board and work our way up the carriages or work our way up our marketing plan. Do not get left behind. Now, why is that important? Well, they say success in business is down to largely two things. That's timing and positioning. And ladies and gentlemen, we are all in the right place at the right time, positioned with the right company, a company that never stands still, a company that's always innovating and developing and making things better for us and for our customers. Now, what's really exciting about that is now more than ever before, it's clear to see that people need what we have to offer, don't they? Millions of people across the UK are wanting to save money. And millions of people are realizing that it's simply naive, maybe even irresponsible, to leave all their financial eggs in one basket when it comes to personal and family future financial security. And we've got an amazing gift to share with these people, not only the savings, but also the UK's best home-based opportunity, where we can show ordinary people how they can turn off of Netflix a few evenings a week and they can turn that downtime into income producing time to earn themselves up to £250 a customer up front, but more importantly, to help them build a financial safety net around them and the family through developing a royalty-style residual income. It's an amazing business, and we've got an amazing opportunity to help so many people. So I'm so excited. And so on that note, I'm going to introduce a gentleman who's a great friend of mine. He's my mentor. He's what we call a National Network Leader 1-star, which basically means he's built an enormous UW business. He's a very humble gentleman. He's a multiple six-figure income earner out of this business. He does okay financially, but he's also a published author, as many of you know. And I'd highly recommend getting a copy of his book, Prepare for Takeoff. So on that note, Stephan, have we got you on the call?
Good evening, Dan. Great opening. Congratulations, everybody, for being on the call. Like, Dan, I'm so excited. There's been some major announcements this week. I don't know whether we're just going to launch right into it, Dan. But we're putting something together, myself and Dan, that's going to really benefit everybody on this call. So please don't miss the next few months. We're going to cover advanced recruitment, advanced customer gathering, advanced retention, overcoming the fears. We're going to do a special that doesn't normally get put on. So yeah, that's something to look forward to in the next couple of months or so. But why we're so excited is we've just had some announcements done, haven't we?
We certainly are. This company amazes me. It never stands still. And it's not where we are today, even though we're in an incredibly and amazing position. It's where we're going to be a few years down the road and into the future. And there's some special stuff bubbling along, isn't there, Steph? And this company is going to be like nothing anybody has ever seen before in this profession. So the first of which is we've got a brand new cashback partner, major retail giant IKEA. Is now a 4% cashback partner. So that's incredible for us and for our existing customers.
Dan, let me just stop you. The magnitude of this major global icon joining us is people don't really, and I'm just getting my head around the magnitude of what our management have pulled off here to get these top level corporate giants to associate with us. We've, like you said, you've opened up with we have something that's never going to be repeated in the UK. I honestly believe that. And now's the time really to grab this with both hands. You said about the train leaving the station. It's left the bloody station, Dan.
Yeah, absolutely. Jump on board or get left behind. You heard it first. So this is massive. IKEA, absolutely giant company partnering with UW. And the major high street brands that we've got strategic alliances with is ever evolving. And there's going to be many, many more cashback partners joining. So who can you be telling about this? We've had some other exciting developments with energy. Today it was announced that our already highly competitive fixed tariff has got even lower. So a great opportunity to help people there on the energy side of things. Amazing. And then on mobile as well, there's been a development, hasn't there, Steph?
That's right, Tom. Yeah. Super fast, 5-speed broadband, flipping 5G, galactic kind of Star Trek stuff.
Which is great for us as partners because it means we can work even faster and speak to even more people.
But just getting back to IKEA, just think of all the tradespeople that use IKEA. Just think about, I don't know, all the people who own properties. Even I've shopped at IKEA.
Even national network leaders. But no, in all seriousness, landlords, people that that have got HMOs, holiday lets, Airbnbs, obviously these people are being hit hard, aren't they, with rising interest rates and changing regulation. So as well as the savings, we can show them the best gift we've got to offer.
I think it's a stroke of absolute genius, Dan. I don't know whether you can tell I'm slightly excited, and I don't normally get excited these days. But my goodness. But sorry, moving on back to super fast 5G. Sorry, Dan.
But the thing here is the company always innovating, always developing, and that excites me because what have we got our hands on with this opportunity? The key corporate people that are being brought on board at head office is incredible. It's like a who's who of management, isn't it? Some of these people that are joining UW and coming on. So the underlying message here is this company is set for massive, explosive growth and long-term viability, and we can all benefit from that explosion and growth on the call this evening. So what we're going to do next, we're going to hear from a few people that are reaching promotions since our last call and are benefiting and grabbing this opportunity with both hands and running with it. So we're going to hear from a couple of people. So we've got a couple of Plus Club achievers on the call this evening, and we have a new 50 Plus Club member. This is a great milestone, the 50 Plus Club, because it means that you lock in your residual income for life. So if you're not yet 50 Plus Club, set a goal to get there ASAP. So Joanne, have we got you on the call? New 50 Plus Club member? No. Have we got Oakley Ingham on the call? New 100 Plus Club member? Superb.
No? Well, Dan, have we got any brand new 100 plus or 50 plus club members who we've not mentioned? And I do apologise because I don't get all the intel to recognise everybody from other people's teams. I do request it. If you're 50 brand new 50 plus club or you're 100 plus club, could you just unmute yourselves? Okay, let's move on, Dan.
Moving on, so we've got loads of new team leaders, which is amazing to see. So this comes with a bonus of £300, and it's a really key position to get to in the business. So set yourself a goal if you're brand new on the call to get to team leader as soon as possible. So we've got quite a few on here. We're just going to whiz through these. Firstly, Adam Parry, have we got you on the call, Adam?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. Yeah.
Yeah, good evening, Adam. So, new team leader, fantastic achievement. Do you mind just sharing with the ladies and gentlemen on the call, what do you do for work?
So I'm actually a self-employed plumbing and heating engineer by day, and a landlord as well.
Brilliant. Wow. So, you're a multi-income individual. So, you run your own business, plumbing and heating, as well as being a property landlord. So, why are you doing this business as a existing business owner? Why this?
It's more for the residual income than the upfront commission, really.
Wow, fantastic. So building a residual income,
Yeah.
fantastic. And you've only been in the business, it's not long since you joined. What's UW allowed you to do already, if you don't mind sharing?
It's allowed my partner Catherine to go part-time, and what I earn every month covers my mortgage.
Wow.
So UW actually pays my mortgage.
Wow, amazing.
I believe that.
And what a position to be in, having that covered without even touching the income from your full-time business. Fabulous. So you've hit team leader, which is awesome. Just very quickly, what would your top tip be, maybe to the new people on the call that have just joined?
Probably get to the events, really. I think it was getting to the top seminar that changed myself, really.
Fantastic. So back to the events, fantastic there. And obviously we've got Power Up coming up in April, which is the major event. So everybody on the call, make sure that if you've not already, you get that booked, because there's going to be some major announcements and developments coming at Power Up too. So I have heard. So fantastic. Thank you for that there, Adam. And well done on getting to team leader. Congratulations.
Cheers, thank you.
No problem. So next up, have we got Robert Benson? Have we got you on the call? No. Have we got Umber Khan, Diane Winter, any new team leaders that are on the screen or not on the screen? Do you want to just unmute?
Just before we move on, I know Fiona should be on, but there's I think it's Dion, Georgia, Christine, and Jessica. They do shift work, I think. So I know they're definitely working at the moment. We'll recognise them next month because a couple of those ladies have got to team leader literally within a matter of 5, 6, 7 weeks. Done. So have we got Fiona on the call? If you can unmute yourself.
Yes, hi, I'm here. Nice to see you all.
Hey, good evening, Fiona. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
So where are you tuning in from?
I'm tuning in from the northeast of Scotland, just about 15 miles north of Dundee.
Fantastic. Congratulations for reaching team leader, Fiona.
very
Just very quickly, tell us a little bit about your background, what you like best about UW, and what it's helped you do in the short term.
My background is I was a teacher. I was medically retired from teaching at the age of about 36, and I've been in direct sales and party plans since then. And I've been involved with UW as a partner for just about a year because I'm a bit slow on the uptake, guys, but I suddenly realized I had it within my gift to help so many people who are struggling at this point in time. My last business was a jewelry business, and the idea of asking people to spend 50, 60, 70 quid on a piece of jewelry when they can't pay their gas bill just literally stuck in my throat. So at that point, I pivoted and I thought, you know what? UW is the way to go, and I'm absolutely loving helping people.
Yeah, well, Fiona, you know, on that, it's quite an interesting. My formal background's aviation. A lot of people don't know that. And whilst you joined 8 years ago, you've only just sort of started. When you took this serious, you've got to team leader when you started taking the action steps. It's a little bit like a pilot. You don't ask a pilot how long he's been a pilot. You ask him how many hours in his log he's accrued. So when you look at it that way, you've not been doing it very long, but fair play for you for sticking in. You know,
Thank you. Thank you.
fantastic. Okay, back to you, Dan.
Fabulous. So we've got any new team leaders, any other team leaders on the call that your names are here? Chrissy Leach, have we got you on?
Yeah, I'm here.
Fantastic. So new team leader, fabulous, Chrissy. What is it?
So my background at the moment, I work in admin and credit control for a small family business. Decided to do UW off the back of my partner. She said she was going to do it one day, and then decided not to. And I was like, I'm going to give it a go. Been in it 7 months. Hit team leader this week, which is amazing.
Congratulations.
And I absolutely adore Stephan, and I'm planning to be in Stephan's position, let's say in 10 years.
Wow. Awesome.
That's very realistic, Chrissy. Very realistic.
It is.
I agree with you, because there are people doing what I did when it took me 5 years to do. They're doing it in 6, 7 weeks.
Definitely, yeah. So yeah, you are. Yeah, I really do look up to you and Dan and Amy. So yeah, I'm going to be following in those footsteps.
So just Chrissy, what would advice for somebody that's literally just would you?
So my top tip would be get to the events, because once you come from those events, you've got the fire in your belly to get out and get helping those people. The last event I went to, sat with you and Amy, seeing Stephan, came from there, and yeah, just something just switches on when you're at the events and you see everybody around you. Everybody loves doing what they're doing, and everybody wants you to succeed. And that's the thing I love about this business is the person next to you wants you to succeed. They don't want you to fail at it.
Amazing. Fantastic. Well, thank you for that. Well done, Christy.
Thank you.
Amazing achievement. And that twice with it now as a top tip, isn't it? Get to the events. So there's something in that for sure. Have we got any other team leaders on the call?
Hi, Dan.
Hello. So is that Caroline? So congratulations, new team leader. What is it that you do for work outside of UW, Caroline?
Thank you. I'm a marketing rep, self-employed marketing rep for Procter & Gamble and Foster & Grant.
Yeah, and what's best about UW, Caroline?
Pardon?
What do you love best about this?
The opportunity to better myself and my future and the freedom I'm going to get in future.
Fantastic. So freedom, absolutely amazing.
Money.
Yeah, of course, the money. And what would be your tip to somebody maybe that's getting a lot of no's at the moment, and they feel like they're getting a lot of no's in showing people? What would your best advice be to those people?
Don't give up. Just keep talking to everyone. Don't misjudge people. Just keep talking, keep showing the business, and be consistent and persistent.
Fantastic. There's some great tips there. Thank you ever.
Also attend the events and online trainings.
Brilliant. Fantastic. Well, great tips there. Well done. You've done it. New team leader. Congratulations to you. Absolutely fine.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations,
Thank you.
Caroline. Fantastic job. Everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Marvellous. Right, Dan, let's move on. I know Annetta can't be on. She's poorly. She's cracked STL this week. But I think we should have Mr. David Bainbridge on the call.
Hi, Steph. Hi,
Hey,
Dan.
good evening, David. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, thanks. You?
Bloody marvellous. I'm absolutely close to spectacular, thank you. If it was any better, I'd be twins. So, David, you hit one of the big plus clubs quite recently. You've really grabbed this by the scruff of the neck. I think you've hit, is it 400 personal customers?
Yeah, that's right. 416 currently.
Oh, I washed my mouth out with soap and water.
You're all right, Steph.
And this week, last week, you hit senior team leader. Just share where you're from, your background, if you would, please, and what you like best about the business.
Originally from Cumbria, live in Lincolnshire now. Day job took me there. I've let my boat sail down the river for a long time without doing any rowing. Got serious with it 2 years ago. Gathered 350 personal customers in that time, and went from QD to senior team leader.
Wow.
The thing I love about the business is helping people, and as they say, help enough people, and you get helped yourself, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. So you know, 24 months ago, you decided to take it serious, and as a result, taking the action steps and learning, I call it activity knowledge.
Yeah,
We've
that's
discussed this. As you've taken the action steps, you've learned your mistakes, not to do whatever it was you did wrong last time, and ask for referrals. You work a lot of referrals, is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. I would say 95% of my personal customers come from referrals now.
Brilliant, brilliant, David. So, what piece of advice would you give some new people or older hands who've been whatever reason life's got in the way, they've had misfortune, but they really feel that they want to pick this up now because, as Dan rightly said, the train's left the station.
Yeah, that's right.
What advice would you give them?
Start, as you used to call it, activity knowledge, but that's on yourself and on your business. So it's doing all the personal development, reading the books, listening. You know, I've turned my car into a mobile university, as we call it. So it's doing the business on yourself, and I've made my business a habit. So I touch it every day, in whatever way, shape, or form, and it's worked for me over the last 2 years.
Well, it would do. You've got 400 and odd customers at how much we get paid per customer. But people are smart; they can work out. But then the residual that's going to come to you is mind blowing, just off your personal customers. So fair play to you, David. Congratulations, senior team leader. Next step, group leader, because there's another income stream opens up. So let's give these guys a round of applause. Yes, well done, David.
So well done.
Fantastic.
Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Steph.
Over to you.
Brilliant. So next up, we have a new group leader on the call. Now, this is a really monumental promotion. As Stephan says, this opens up a new income stream. And believe me, it's a very lucrative income stream, something called leadership development bonus. So if you're not group leader on the call, set yourself a goal to get there ASAP. So we've got a new group leader on the call this evening, Nicola Emerson. Have we got you with us, Nicola?
Hello, Team Purple.
Hello. So massive congratulations, amazing achievement. Many congratulations to you and your team. Do you mind sharing a little bit about where you're from, what your background is, Nicola?
Absolutely. I'm Nicola from Newcastle, so up in the northeast. I've actually got a background. I've been self-employed. Well, I became self-employed when I was 23. So that's over 40 years ago. You can see how old I am. I always thought outside the box. In fact, everybody thought I was mad in the 80s going self-employed. And in fact, it was Party Plan. There was a lady earlier on talked about Party Plan. And I did Party Plan with the same company for over 25 years, built teams, absolutely loved it. But like I say, people thought I was mad. Even my dad used to say to me all the time, when are you going to get a proper job, Nick? But actually, after the business closed, because that's the only reason I stopped, I became involved in BNI, which a lot of people know about, Business Network International. And BNI, ever so grateful, introduced me to Utility Warehouse. And because I knew the background with direct sales, and then our business literally took me 1 minute to sign on the dotted line. Because when I was explained about the residual income, it blew my mind.
Amazing. So you've done product-based businesses in the past. Obviously, with UW, there's nothing out there like this. It's totally unique in that it's services. Why is that so exciting? The fact we get paid on essential services. With your background.
Well, yeah, like I think that there's the other people had said before, you're literally just asking people to take a look at something that they're using already. So it's not something that's going to be extra on top. So, and what I love the idea is actually helping people. I've always helped people all my life to be able to save money, but also earn money is an absolutely amazing opportunity for people. I mean, I'm a tortoise. I mean, a little bit of thing. You've heard about the scenario of the tortoise and the hare, guys. I'm sure I'm the proverbial tortoise. Uh, you know, I'm in awe of the people that have done this really, really fast. But life throws throws things at you. A bit of advice of mine is run at your own race. Please don't judge yourself about anybody else. I did that for quite a while. You've just got to do it at your pace. But I suppose my moment was a power up. There was a change in my financial. Actually, what's a great thing to say is I semi-retired senior team leader because of my passive income. So I know this business works. Know it. But I still had to work. But power up, my circumstances did change financially, and that became a huge why for me to be able to do something. And the big thing, when people say you have to make that decision, I absolutely had to make that decision. I had to do something about it. I read the consistency chain, which everybody was talking about. The penny dropped, and I started doing proper activity. But here's the thing: it's easy to do and it's easy not to do, as they say. I had no pipeline really. I was ambling along, but I started doing consistency, and it actually took me 9 weeks to get my first success. So it would have been very easy to give up, but I thank goodness I didn't give up. I just kept going and going and going.
Wow. So some great advice in there. I love that. We're all running our own race with this business. Some people are running the super fast race, but it doesn't matter. You go at your own pace on this journey. And because there's a big mistake that some people fall into, in a bit of a trap in this business. They start comparing themselves to other people. And it's great to get inspired by other people and to see what's possible, but you don't ever want to fall into that trap of comparing. So I love that. That is brilliant. And just finally, Nicola, what would be your best advice? So maybe for someone on the call that's aspiring to be group leader like you've just achieved, what would be your biggest top tip or your best piece of advice for them?
Gosh, there's so many. I suppose I always think a really big one is to know your why. If you've got a really passionate big why and it's going to drive you, that's so important. And your why will change. Mine changed. I joined for a pension because I was self-employed for a long time, didn't have a pension. There was loads of stuff went on in my life. We all have stuff thrown at us. I didn't have a pension. But now, as I say, everything's more solid. I want what's actually my will. My business is actually now my will because it was a willable asset. But please know your why. Please know your why. Make that decision. You have to make the decision. It's true. Make the decision to be consistent with activity, but whatever activity you can do, not anybody else's. Feed your brain. Not just feed your brain, very important for personal development. And here's one from Steph. don't you ever, ever, ever give up. He's been on my shoulder the last few months. So you're sitting there going, never, ever, ever give up. If I can do it, this is me saying, if I can do it, anybody can do it. Just keep going, one more at a time.
Wow, love that. That's great advice. Thank you. And a massive congratulations to you. It's an amazing achievement getting to group leader. So well done, you. We'll give you a round of applause. Thank you for that, Nicola, and huge congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, well done, Nick. And a couple of things I've picked up on there. Your why is your rocket fuel. It's the ember that lights the forest fire. And I was told years ago, because I was coached by a lady, so I have the highest respect for women. And she said that if your why, your reason is big enough, the obstacles, the setbacks, the disappointments, the frustrations don't count. And you're a key message for everybody about sticking in there, Nicola. I'm we are all so proud of you, because I know you've had your personal challenges and other challenges that we all get, I guess, but you've stuck in there. But the other operative word that you made there, when after being at Power Up, you said you made a decision and you just stuck with it. So total respect, mate.
Awesome. Massive congratulations. So,
Well, can we raise a roof for our brand new group leader, Nicola Emerson? Great job, Nick.
fantastic. And well done to everybody that's been promoted since the last call. No doubt we'll have loads and loads of promotions on the next one as well, because there's some awesome things happening right now. So on that note, I'm going to hand over to Stephan to introduce a very special lady who we're very privileged and fortunate to have on this call this evening. I believe it's the first time we've got her on the call, so I am so excited for this. So before I hand over to Steph, what I will say is you'll want your pens and notepads at the ready. Over to you, Stephan.
Well, thank you. There's a great segue and link. It gives me great pleasure to introduce this lady. She's an absolute major asset to our business. She's been involved in our company for around about 3 years, and she's done so much. So I don't want to steal her thunder. Ai-Leng Seymour, are you on the call by any chance?
I am indeed. Hello.
Hey, good evening. Well, listen, let's get stuck right in. Can I ask you a favour? And I'm going to throw you a grenade here. Will you share some things for everybody that you don't normally share or they don't know about? Would that be okay?
Oh, you're not asking a lot, are you? Let's see. What is something that I don't normally share? I'm quite sure. How many people are there on this call? I saw 328. Okay. I'm pretty sure no one on this call knows this. So about 3 years ago, so Steph was right, he can count. About 3 years ago, I joined UW. But what you don't know was that just before I joined UW, I almost didn't join UW. As I was going through the interview process, I knew that I was down to the final 2 for the position I was interviewing for. But what most people didn't know was that I was also down to the final 2 of the companies. I was at this fork, on one side is UW, on the other is another network marketing company.
Ooh.
And anyone who knew me and my background, they were all very surprised that in the end I chose UW, because the other company was a product-based company. They sold, amongst other things, skincare, body products. And all my friends and family were convinced I was going to go with the Body Shop at Home.
So the Body Shop that that was the other company that nearly stole you from us.
But I chose UW. And
I didn't
you've
know.
all heard the momentous news in January, and it's very sad. It's very, very sad for people who were there. And I've got friends who work there. But, you know, if I ever needed more clarity, which I didn't, you know, that I've come to the right place, that kind of was it.
Wow. Wow.
I knew before the momentous news, I knew I was at the right place.
Wow. So I know, and it's sad news that some of the product-based companies are falling over now. But I learned something years ago, because I've been around the profession for 30 years or 20 years. And an old gentleman who'd been in another company said, you know, you only have a residual income if you have a residual spend. And that really resonated with me, if that makes sense. And there's a classic example there. We have got essential services, not sexy, but we're essential. So your title is head of partner development. That's correct, isn't it?
Unless someone's changed it without telling me, I think it's head of partner engagement.
Engagement, bloody hell. You see, I'm dyslexic. I can't read my own notes. Like a spider's written on it, honestly. So there you go. I'll wash my mouth. Back to you, Dan, in the studio.
Well, fantastic. So I've got a question on the note talking about the body shop. And you know, I kind of said at the beginning, what we've got our hands on in our space is incredibly special. You know, we're partnered with a company that's cash rich. It's got long-term track record. It's poised for growth, and it's set up for growth and long-term viability. I guess what is so exciting about UW, you know, the fact that it services, what edge does that give us over product-based companies? Because you've worked at corporate level, haven't you, in several product businesses now. Why is UW exciting, you know, from your point of view?
I know that when people look at us, and the funny thing was when I was interviewing with Andrew actually said to me, you know, we're not like a fun company. We're quite grey. And I was thinking, why are you trying to talk me out of this job? But the thing is that you know, if you're just barely scratching the surface, isn't it? When we look at, if I think back to my days with so one of the companies that I was with was S.L.I.K. So they did jewelry, and every month all the distributors, if they were to earn any commission at all, they have to sell a minimum amount, and we call it a PV. It's on a point value. So if you were to sell, and it's 500 PV, if they do not sell 500 PV, they don't get any commission. So there is a minimum sales target. Whereas with UW, you don't have that, right? And this is every month. Every month they have to do 500.
Neil, can you turn your...
I think he has now. Poor Neil got shouted at. So yeah, so that's tough. It is tough. With UW, so you all know this. I don't need to teach you to suck eggs, right? You do one customer, one multi-service homeowner customer, and then it pays again and again and again on top of your customer bonus that you get up front. I kind of think that is sometimes, you know, you go and you gild the lily, but this is one of those moments you don't need to gild the lily. That's just the proposition, the core proposition itself is just unparalleled. But then on top of all that, I do not agree with Andrew Lindsay saying that we're not. What's not fun about it? So I challenge him for saying that.
Fantastic. Well, I love that. Like you say, these product-based companies, they don't have a true residual income because, as Steph has said, the spend is not residual. People have to purchase the products, whereas with us, it's amazing. People use these services whether they like it or not, and they're going to use them long after we're all gone. So we've got that true residual. So obviously, as Steph sort of mentioned, you've been with a company, over 3 years now. I guess in that period of time, we've been going through a big period of growth. It's been a really exciting time. What changes have you witnessed within the 3 years you've been with us, Ai-Leng?
Oh my God, so many, so many. So I joined in 2020, October 2020, right? And then we went into the post-pandemic period. I think during the pandemic, that was, the company pivoted really quickly. A lot of things went online. There was that solidarity and the we can do it. And then it started getting second lockdown, third lockdown, and 2021 was a long, hard year. It was, I think a lot of people went through quite dark times, and not just with the businesses, but mental health and everything. Health is wealth, so we need to have that. So I joined a company and I went into a very, very, very difficult year. We were flatlining. Recruitment was dire. Customer gathering was difficult because our proposition wasn't strong. I often think back to 2021, and I thought, oh gosh, we survived 2021. We can survive anything. And now the business it's unrecognizable. The growth. Neil, you might have to mute yourself again. the growth that you see, and when you into NHQ, I know that we don't go in the office every single day now, but people are coming back to the office. You go into NHQ and the excitement is palpable. Everyone is there. Everyone can feel the energy. We are growing and growing, and people are just so excited to be part of that growth, because there are a lot of companies out there that aren't growing. There are a lot of companies that have to, unfortunately, lay people off, close their doors. And we are in a very, very strong position. So just having the growth is amazing, and it buoys everyone up. Someone mentioned, it might have been you, might have been Stephan, about the corporate hiring and new people joining. We have got people from high up in Barclays, we're poached people from British Gas, and everybody wants to come to UW. UW used to be the company that nobody has heard of, and now we've got all these big guns, really, and they're all part of our team. They're all purple now. And I look around, and sometimes I can feel like, I'm just surrounded by really cool people, really surrounded by these, they're on our side. And it's such a wonderful feeling. And it makes me feel good about myself as well, actually.
Amazing. And it is, I think I said earlier, it's like a who's who of leadership and management, some of the corporate people that are coming on board from these other firms. It is amazing. And to me, that is a sign that this company, we're going through that period of growth, but we're gearing up for even more growth. And what an exciting time to be part of it. So
it is, Dan. It's like the best way I can say. I'm sorry for jumping in there, but that's Ai-Leng's triggered something in me. It's like a chess master playing chess, thinking about 10 moves ahead, and that's what all these top kiddies, including yourself, Ai-Leng, are so masterful at. I'm bloody flat out excited for the future, not just for us, but for our kids and our grandkids, and this thing pays in perpetuity. Bloody, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I came on the call.
I mean, it's funny that you should mention chess, because I think one of the best moves, well, not the best moves, as in, the way they've handled, Andrew becoming the president of Team Purple. He's going to be our champion, and having mentored Stuart for the last 2 and a bit years, and I believe you had Stuart on your call last month or the month before. The way they've handled all that, it just shows planning. It shows that it's not a lot of companies, they're parachuting a new CEO and change, blueprints are ripped out, and you start from square one again. UW is not like that. They have hired people who've done long-term planning, because it's important to them. It's important that we protect UW, we protect your legacy. So I was very, very impressed at the way UW has handled this. And much like I see Steph bringing Dan along, mentoring him, handing over the reins, making him run the call, making him do the work, kind of thing. You know, it's important. It's important to know where the new fresh blood, where the new people are coming in. So yeah.
I think you've got me wrong there, Ai-Leng. You know.
There you are. So I've got a question, if that's all right. So we've talked about the expertise joining UW at a corporate level, but obviously you've worked closely with the network over the last 3 years. You've also worked with distributors in your previous businesses as well, in your previous experience. In your opinion, what sort of attributes do you see in the most successful partners and distributors? You know, what attributes is it useful to cultivate for the people on the call that have just started that want to make a success of this?
Very, very good question. So I think a few common threads. I think the really highly successful ones are generally, they're very intuitive. So they've got very high EQ, because in this business, everyone's different. We've got lots of different personalities. You all hear about the different color personalities. There's no right, there's no wrong. But you know, to make it work, in a leader with a big team, you're going to get all sorts. You're going to have to learn how to mentor different people, how to fire them up, because not everybody needs the same thing, right? So that's one thing to bear in mind. The leaders that I see tend to be really agile, because businesses that are growing, or even businesses that are not growing, they have to change tactics, they have to change strategy all the time. So if there is a change that comes from head office, most leaders that I see, the really good ones will be, okay, let me understand this. Okay, right, what do I need to do? And they set about immediately bringing people along on that journey. The people who don't do so well, they tend to spend the next 3 to 6 months, or maybe even longer, scratching their heads. Nothing wrong with not understanding and trying to get clarity, but then they get bogged down, they get drawn into the weeds. They're like, why this change? Why? They spend a lot of time complaining, wondering, and they lose all that time. They lose their the chance to get ahead. So I think being agile and being able to bring people along the journey is very, very important for a good leader. And they're resilient. They're resilient. You get a lot of knockbacks on the way, products, services, whatever. Just as you think you've learned something, it changes. You could spend ages moaning about that, or you can get on with it. Okay, it's a change. It's just another thing. Had to be done. Okay, let's go. Keep going. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. That is brilliant. For me, like you say, that being agile is key in this business, because we're in an ever-changing world. We're in a company that's always evolving and bringing out new things, and it's our ability to adapt, not just in this, in any sort of business, isn't it, really, Steph? You know, the people that succeed are those people that adapt to changing times and changing situations.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like Ai-Leng's just said. I use a lot of analogies from sports. I'm a big football fan, and she mentions the word tactics and strategies. You don't change if things aren't going right. You got to change your strategies, else and that's exactly what happened to us.
Yeah.
Oh, Neil
Yeah, I mean,
Burns, please.
and change is the only constant. Change is the only constant. Okay, if things don't change, it's at the standstill, UW would not be where we are today. And what is great today would not be the thing that's going to make us great tomorrow. So expect change. You know, sometimes maybe you even need to demand change, because if a company just rinse and repeat and just keep doing the same thing, then there is a real danger. There is a real danger. That means that maybe we don't have enough visionaries within the company.
Exactly. Sat on the laurels, but I love that. You know, when we hit COVID as an example, I got all the leaders together and asked them this question: what does this make possible? And we adapted, as you've rightly said. You've got to grow and adapt. Dan, I'll throw some one-liners in. You just carry on doing
Writing this stuff down. These gold dust, blooming heck. The people on the call, I hope you're writing some of this stuff down as well. So one thing that your team and that you are responsible for, and this is one of the amazing things we've got in this business, is partners, is the incredible incentives. And I have to say, since you joined the company, you know, coming up to 3.5 years ago, we have had amazing array of incentives on offer. You know,
you've really. Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting comfortable. I can't wait for the answer to this one.
We ran out of question, yeah, actually. So I was just saying there's been some amazing incentives on the table, you know, from Epsom Derby to, I don't know, the Henley Festival to Harry Potter. We've now got ABBA, we've got the holidays, all this sort of stuff is on the table, as well as the money that we earn for this business. So I guess the question is for some of the leaders and the upcoming leaders on the call, as a leader in UW, why is it important to encourage to not only get the incentives yourself, but to encourage your team members to qualify for them and to go for them? You know, why is that so important?
Well, because number one, like you said, Dan, they're so fun. So once your team gets one, they can't help themselves. They want to get the other one. It's almost like they get the bug, right? So you need to get them on that. And also, if the incentive is an event, you get them to go with you. There's really that sense of, I know so many people, every single tip I heard just now is get to the events, right? So yes, we've got our kickoff, we've got buzzers, we've got Power Up, we've got Amplify, we've got all these, but don't forget that the events, which are also incentives, that is another opportunity to get together, and you don't have to shell out, you don't have to pay the £20 for the ticket because you've earned it, right? So that's really important. But more importantly, you know, we don't give these incentives away. Like I said, you earn them. How do you earn them? You earn them by recruiting and supporting and customer gathering. Sometimes it's team building thrown in. Sometimes it's recruit and training. All the behaviors that we need to encourage for you to have a good structure, a strong structure, so that you're bringing people in, you are helping them help other people, and as you get the incentive, your team's growing as well. So it's win-win, really. So why wouldn't you?
Absolutely, and like you say, it's the belief, isn't it? You know, that they can achieve that and then go on to achieve another one of the incentives. And I have to say, it's amazing some of the stuff we get to experience as partners through some of these incentives. You know, some of them it's just stuff you probably wouldn't even think of doing yourself. I don't know how you and your team come up with these amazing ideas. They're fantastic. So you mentioned team building. And kind of on the topic of incentives, so obviously the holiday incentives is something that have been around in UW for a while, but the last holiday incentive that ended yesterday, this year it had a slightly different criteria, and there was a team building requirement as well as the points. Now, I was on a call recently and it was stated that UW, we've now grown to a network of 65,000 partners, which is incredible. So how has that team building focus and that requirement, how's that had such a positive effect, I guess, on that?
It's a mindset thing, Dan, really. And I think, I'm not going to lie, so the thing is, when we first introduced the concept of team building, everyone hated it. They hated it. They didn't understand it, right? Remember, I talked about change. Sometimes you need to change something. Oh, we've had this before. It's so difficult. I'm not being able to do it. I'm just going to give up right now. I'm not even going to start. We heard that a lot. But you know what? We've got really good leaders in our network, and I know that leaders, you know, like yourself, Stephan, you know, other people, I've said to their teams that they really kind of turn it around on them to say, look, you didn't join just to get a holiday. Obviously, the holidays are wonderful. You joined because you want to get the residual. You want to build a team. So think about it that way. Look at the team builders as a way of building a team. The clue is in the name. So how about you apply this win-win strategy? And so much so that, like you said, yes, we've grown to 65,000, but we have bigger ambitions because we love Team Purple. We just want more and more of you. We want to get bigger and bigger. We are aiming for 100,000. Okay. So to get to 100,000, what do we need to do? We need to focus the mind on, yes, customer gathering is great, it's important. I'm not disputing that, but we need to really think about how to build a team, how to not just recruit, but support them, get them a customer, because what happens when they get a customer? They get paid. What happens when people get paid? They have money in their hands. They realize this is real, it's tangible. When they get their first incentive, oh my God, it's real. I've tasted the reward. It all becomes much more it's a lot of us get that little electricity thing, oh, the scam or whatever, but who's laughing now? Because you've got the rewards, you've got the commission, you've got the team, you've got the community.
Yes,
I think
yeah.
all these are things, the sense of achievement. Thank you, Sarah. Believe. So one example that I will give you, we had a partner who is very, very good at getting holiday incentives year after year after year. This partner is on every single holiday. For 10 years, she's been STL. This year, at the beginning, not this year, sorry, this incentive at the beginning when we launched the concept of team builders, she was one of the ones who said, can't do it. There is no point. There is no point. Now, this is where her upline came in and gave her a talking to, challenged her, encouraged her, motivated her. And not only has this partner now, well, I can't say she got the holiday because obviously we're not confirming it till April because there's still 2 more months for all the points to go live and everything. She had banked a point. She had banked her team builders, and she's going to be GL by power. So because she changed her behavior, she changed the way she thinks about team building, and she stopped telling herself she can't do it. She is now, not only does she get her holiday, she's now going to be group leader very soon.
Brilliant. Brilliant. Tangible. It becomes tangible, I think was the word maybe Ai-Leng used. Can I ask a question, Dad? Can I ask one?
Yeah.
I've been asking questions. I've been depriving you.
Flipping it, I do like a strong woman. Right. What are the biggest opportunities for growth in 2024 as you see it for everybody?
For everybody. I think I'm going to bang that drum again. So I'm not going to talk about all the new products, all the new cashback card, partners. You see that for yourselves. I think for us, the big opportunity here is in getting more people join UW, is in the recruiting and the supporting. Because the more people we have, the more people hear of us, the brand recognition grows, and we all know that Team Purple does the job much better than any billboard, than any radio advert and stuff like that, because you are everywhere. No, that sounds a bit sinister. You're everywhere, but you're the ones who can go and sit with the customer. You can take them through. You can talk to them. You can speak their language. You are human. You are warm. Or none of these things any other medium can achieve. So that's our big opportunity, and we all need to remember that you can do it. The power is really in your hands.
Okay, Dan, I'm mindful of time. I can't believe where the time's gone.
I've got one final question, which a few people have put forward to me. So it seems like a fitting question to kind of end on. So I believe I'm under the impression that we are weeks away from hitting that millionth customer. It's not going to be a long way, but obviously that is just a halfway mark, isn't it, to the goal of 2 million customers. However, this is a bit of a tricky question, and you might not be able to give an answer, but can you give us any clues on the call this evening as to the kind of celebration that's going to be in store for Team Purple for reaching that halfway mark of 1 million customers?
Halfway mark. You know, it's not, I wouldn't call it, because we're not just trying to get to 1 million, 2 million. We're thinking bigger than that. We're going to go more, higher, further, right? So yes, just to come back to that 1 million, we are just weeks away. Very, very close now. It's very exciting. And we have got something in the pipeline. At the kickoff, we released the date. You were all asked to save the date of the weekend of the 7th of September. So if you have missed that, so let me say it again. And at that time, we hinted that this celebration might not be in Cheltenham. So I think I can allow myself to say that I think it is most definitely not going to be in Cheltenham. We have found almost another venue. I can't tell you much more, mainly because we haven't completely planned it yet. I would like to ask you a favour though. In this climate, I know that a lot of you remember Piggy Fest fondly, and I wasn't here for Piggy Fest. I kicked myself for not joining earlier. But we will not be replicating Piggy Fest. I just want it to be clear. There will be a massive celebration. It is a huge milestone, but it won't be like a Piggy Fest. We still are in a cost of living crisis environment, and we are not. Can I swear on a call? We're not.
You please do, because if you don't, you save me a job, actually.
These calls.
Knobs, are we? We're not knobs. We're not going people's faces like, look at, So by all means, call it a celebration. Don't call it a party, because party is tone deaf and just not right in this current climate. But it will be a celebration because we have worked bloody hard. You have worked bloody hard, and there will be a celebration, not in Cheltenham, just on the weekend of the 7th of September. That's all I can say. Yes, or I'll get into trouble.
You know, you've been absolutely spot on there, and that's great. And it's great to hear from our perspective, because people are hurting there, and you know, we don't want the fat cat syndrome, do we? You know, so I totally get that, and thank you for reminding us. Obviously, we've got Power Up coming up in a couple of months' time. Just in closing, why should the new people on the call, why should they book their ticket maybe tonight or tomorrow? Ai-Leng?
Tonight, definitely book it tonight. I think, you know, don't just take my word for it. Honestly, I sit there and I listened to every single top tip. Every single one said that the light bulb moment, the fire in the belly, someone said, that's all events. There was even somebody, might have been Caroline, she was giving all the different tips, and before she finished, events, get events, you know. Sometimes it's really difficult to put it into words, but I just think that so many people who have been in the audience, if you've been at Amplify, you have heard Danielle Bennett's story, you might have been in tears, or you might have been going on stage because you got to FTL, TL, STL. I don't know what the status is. It doesn't matter, because it's your race, it's your celebration, it's your achievement, and to look down and see everyone being happy for you and clapping, I can't put that in words. I think it's a feeling, and it's a feeling that you deserve to experience yourself. So I'm not going to deprive you of that by trying to do the bad job of describing it. It is something you have to see it to believe it. That the tips, the announcements, you know, just the face-to-face time, and recognition, and being there, being celebrated, to feel that you're part of something, and to really get a sense of your achievement.
Fantastic. Well, like everything, we greatly appreciate, because you've got a young family as well, Ai-Leng, for being on the call. Thank you to everybody that has supported the call. We've got some really good stuff coming up that's going to really cement the way you take the business forward and benefit yourselves and your families and your grandkids financially, as well as becoming maybe a different person than when you started out empowering people. So on that note, big round of applause for all our speakers, but especially to the fabulous Ai-Leng Seymour. Thank you. Over to you, Dan. Let's go out with a bang.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ai-Leng. That was phenomenal. Love listening to you there. And you opened up with saying, you know, you were choosing between the two companies. And I, for one, and lots of other people in the chat have said it as well. I'm glad you picked UW. And, you know, it's great to have you as part of the partner team. And thank you so much for coming on this evening and sharing your insights with us all. We really appreciate that. And well done to everybody for tuning in this evening. Great to see so many of you on the call. Let's have an amazing February. Let's make the most of this incredible window of opportunity that we've got right now. And just have that courage to speak to everybody you know and show them this amazing income opportunity. Thanks, everyone, and have a fantastic rest of the week.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Bye.
I look like all your things.